These last questions are kind of a combination of just simple probability of one event, multiple events using a tree diagram, some conditional probability also. Working through this, in the first time, it says Derek Jeter's on deck ready to face the right-hander. There's a 70% chance that he'll use a wood bat and a 30% chance that he'll use an aluminum. So that is our first probability. Either wood or aluminum. I'm going to use decimals, so I have 0.7 and 0.3. Then if he chooses a wood bat, he's either going to get a hit or not a hit. Using a wood bat, he has a 20% chance of getting a hit, which means an 80% of not a hit. Using an aluminum bat, he would have a chance of 0.35 of getting a hit, 0.65 of not getting a hit. Again, each of these branches need to add up to be 1, which they do. Then multiplying these, we'd have 0.14, 0.56, 0.105, and 0.195. Those four probabilities will add up to be 1. And then answering the questions, wood and hit would be 0.14. That's the first one right here. Aluminum and a hit, aluminum and a hit would be 0.105. Aluminum and not a hit, again, these are ands, so these are being multiplied together, 0.195. Getting a hit, well, getting a hit could be either this one or this one. And since it's or, we would add those, and we'd have 0.245. Not getting a hit would be these two, or the complement of getting a hit, which would be 0.755. Conditional probability, remember we defined this as the probability of wood and a hit divided by the probability of a hit. Now we found each of those probabilities already. Wood and hit is number 17, that was 0.14. Getting a hit is number 18, which is 0.245. And then I would simply divide those two. And this would be a probability of 0.5714. So more than 50-50 chance that if they do use a hit, if they do get a hit, that they were using a wood bat. Next problem, very similar, using a wedding situation. We have a wedding in either July or August. There's a 25% chance. I'm going to try to use fractions here. July is 1/4. August would then be 3/4. If the wedding is in July, the bridesmaid dresses could be blue. They might be purple. Or they might be tie-dye. The chance of them being blue is 40%. 40% is 4 out of 10. Would be 35 out of 100, which would also be 7 out of 20. And then a 25% chance they'll be maroon and gold tie-dye, which would be 1/4. These should add up to be 1 using common denominator of 20. We have 2/5, which would be 8/20, and 7/20 is 15/20, and then 5/20. So that does work out. In August, there's an equal chance of them either being purple or tie-dye. So a 50-50 chance, that'd be 1/2. Now multiplying these, multiplying fractions ain't no problem. Top, top, bottom, bottom. So July in blue would be 2/20. July in purple would be 7/80. July in tie-dye would be 1/16. August in purple would be 3/8. And August in tie-dye would be 3/8. We could reduce the 2/20 to 1/10. All of those should have to be 100%. So August in tie-dye would be 3/8. July in blue would be 1/10. July in tie-dye would be 1/16. Tie-dye would be these two. So we have 1/16 and 6/16, which would be 7/16. We have August and purple, which would be 3/8. And then July given tie-dye, which remember would be J and T divided by T. J and T is 1/16. Tie-dye would be 7/16. So dividing those, you get 1/7.